toes are all beat up.
Down. I wanna run, throw it away, run before the finding me out. I just wanna run. I'm out here all alone. I try to call your house, can't reach you on the phone. I'll gather enough, I'm packing up my bag. It's more than you deserve. Don't treat me like a drag. I'm feeling like I keep on talking. I'm repeating myself, my words lost all meaning. I keep talking, I repeat myself. I just wanna run, hide away, run because they're chasing me down. I just wanna run, throw it away, run before it finding me out. I just wanna run.
Mics are on. Mics are on. Oh, my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. This is Racing and Events here in San Antonio, but we're going to talk about racing and events from around the world. You can find us on Ustream at I Speak For You. It's live. If you can't hear it on Ustream, you got to go to Spreaker.com. The user is I Speak For You. Just follow the link on there. But, of course, in the studio today for our guest appearances is John Purnell from Purnell Racing. And I know you can't hear it, but the arena is going crazy with the clapping right now. And then we also have Gary Brimmer, Coach Gary Brimmer, as we're going to talk about Rock and Roll Marathon, the new course, which I say that mile 5.5 is going to be the hardest part of the entire event. And then we're going to talk about some races coming up, hydration, running, even socks, shoes, shoelaces, and how you lace your shoes can come into play. And then Gary's guys this morning, of course, one of us young man, ran a mile and did a PR by 7 seconds. So that's pretty cool. So, gentlemen, welcome to this week's Races and Event Show.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
So what's going on with you? Because obviously everybody knows the Rock and Roll Marathon course for San Antonio has been changed. New start line, new finish line, pretty much new whole point. Someone said yesterday that it looks like the Alamo 13.1 course.
Huh.
But I don't think
I
so.
didn't catch that.
Yeah. Just because it goes by Trinity doesn't mean it's the Alamo 13.1 course. But as we talked about, it's a new start line, Houston and Cherry Street. Finish line's on Cherry, but you're not coming up the Alamo Dome Hill. You're going to be coming straight from south on Cherry, and which is going to be helpful to a lot of folks. As I'm telling everybody, mile 5.5 is going to be kicker. Do you say that mile 5.5 isn't going to be a problem?
It's not that it's going to be a problem. I just don't think it's a showstopper. It's early enough in the race. Warm up. You just get up the hill and get it over with. It's not. I don't think it's going to cause people to crash and burn.
Well, fortunately, Mark's not running it because if he was, it would be a showstopper.
It'd be a showstopper.
I would stop at mile 5.5. I'd go to the zoo.
You stop at the zoo and say, "Let's go see the monkeys."
Let's go see the monkeys.
I've had enough of this.
Shall we toss poo? But of course.
You guys are no fun. But anyway, so again, folks who are training for the Rock and Roll Marathon, what can they, especially the ones who have not even begun training yet, what can they expect? Because if they walk outside in this beautiful weather, they're going to be going, some of them are going to be going, oh, that's way too hot. But
this morning when we ran at 7:30, it was 73 degrees.
Yeah.
So if you do it early enough, you're good. The problem with early, though, is it's humid.
Yeah.
If you can't fight the humidity, then you have to wait until about 8:30 when the sun's up. Some of the humidity dissipates, but then it starts getting warmer. So you got to pick your time.
Right, and I think we've been really, really lucky with the weather this spring and summer. I think we had, temps have been mild for San Antonio, but the humidity has been a little warmer and or a little bit elevated because of all the rain. But just get out, like John said, get out at the right time, find the right the right conditions that you handle best, and that's when you do your run. I had two groups. We had one group meet at 5:30 in the morning to do a little threshold tempo run. Then I had my cross-country camp. We met at 7 a.m. like we've been doing all summer, and it was really humid. It rained on us. So,
yeah, Mark Pumphrey said he got up yesterday morning at 3:30 for a run.
That's a little too early for me.
That's a little bit way too early.
I'm just
way
barely getting into bed by then.
But as we talked about, I mean, obviously, everybody wants to know, because folks that are that are starting to get their fall season. They're starting to say, okay, I'm going to do the Rock and Roll Marathon, or if I'm not doing that, I got BCS coming up, I got White Rock coming up, and we're all three very familiar with those marathons. But there's 5Ks coming up, there's 10Ks coming up, stuff like that. We all three have talked about, and Gary, you and I have talked about it at length with, and obviously with John over there, as well as that the 13.1 mile distance, the half marathon, may be the perfect endurance run.
The only regrets I have about running is the King should have lived at the 13.1 mile mark, not back down the road, so they backed him up and it became 26.2.
Right.
Yeah, I think I tell a lot of my runners, especially my runners that are starting the sport for the first time, that make the half marathon your big goal, because you can do it wrong and survive and get right back into training very, very quickly. Half marathon doesn't beat the body up nearly as much as the marathon, and the numbers across the country show that the half marathon is the most popular event. I mean, Rock Roll San Antonio, they've been having 4,500 runners. How many do they have in the half?
Well, I think last year they had like 30,000 people sign up, and 25,000 ran the half.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the rest was in the full. So the truth is, there are very few people in numbers running the full marathon as far as Rock and Roll in San Antonio goes.
Yep. Do you think
that doesn't always apply? I mean, if you go to Chicago, they don't have a half.
They don't have a half marathon, right?
Marine Corps doesn't have a half marathon. They both have 30,000 people.
Right.
But you go
Honolulu, same thing.
You go to any race, and I go to a lot of races across the country during the summer, and or across the spring and the fall and winter during marathon season. And if there's a half marathon, it's 2/3 bigger in the half marathon almost always than it is in the full.
I think the real reason that happens, though, is the fact that we've all done marathons. And we did a marathon not to please you, or not to please him, or not to please her.
Or to check a box.
We did that because of the challenge.
Yep.
It says marathon. If you claim that you can go out and run a marathon, then you've accomplished something. You've accomplished 6 to 8 months training, if you did it right. And then when you finish the marathon...
I like how he said if you did it right.
No, it's true. I mean, there are people that are out there doing marathons in 6 or 7 hours.
No, because I've done that. I've actually not trained for a marathon, and I was like, I'm just going to run with some folks who've never run one. So I knew there were going to be some walking involved. I was like, I didn't need to train. But we did it in 5 hours and 58 minutes. So it was a long day out there. But you're right. If you said, I've run a marathon...
Son, just round it off and say it was 6 hours.
No, it was 5 hours, 57 minutes.
It was 6 hours. What is gun? That was a chip time. What is gun?
No, that was my chip time. You're right. But no, and we've always talked about destination marathons. Like people are like, I want to run a Honolulu marathon. All three of us have done Honolulu. But that's one of those races that if you're expecting to do a PR, it's not going to happen.
No, absolutely not.
And there are people that run marathons in 5 hours, 6 hours that do it right, and they do the training for that. However, that's a long time to be out there, and to train properly for that, you're out training for a long, long time. They're actually the people that are that are prone to be injured more than someone who's out there for 4 hours or less, or 3.5 hours or less. That's just what I see at all the expos, the people that I chat with. So, but yeah, I mean, there's a big difference in the full and the half.
I think the biggest problem that I see with people that try to go out and do a marathon without training is most people never do two.
Right.
Because they'll be so miserable the first time that they'll go, I'm not doing this again.
Right.
And the reason they're not doing it again is because they didn't want to train. I mean, if you're going to do a marathon, you've got to obligate yourself to do the time. And that's what it's all about, is time. I mean, I could put you on a program and have you run nothing but time, and race day you won't have a problem.
Right. Yeah, because that was my last marathon when I didn't train at all, because I was like, that was miserable. I mean, the other marathons I ran, I actually trained, got up, did the mileage, did the work, put in the blood, sweat, and tears kind of thing, and but that last one hurt the worst, and I walked from mile 14 to the finish. Yeah, so
my slowest marathon of my life was at Honolulu 3 years ago, and I went there to work the expo and had no intention of running the marathon, and my former coach Farley Simon is the elite coordinator for Honolulu now, and he come to the expo and saw me in the booth and tapped me on the shoulder, said, "How many entries you want?" I said, okay, I'll take one. And it was the most painful marathon I've ever run. And it was this
Right.
on the scale of all my marathons, it was over an hour slower than my fastest marathon I've ever run. And it hurt worse than
Oh,
my
yeah,
fastest
sure.
marathon.
That's what I say. You and Frank Short are drinking beer before I get to the halfway point.
Yeah. I don't know about me anymore. Oh, no, I can beat Frank to the half now.
Oh, yeah, now.
Yeah, now.
I can too.
Yeah. But folks, of course, this is races and events. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about obviously heat training. What's the best hydration that you can do? Because we've talked about it on previous shows individually and as together. Because I know we used to carry mustard bottles. There's bike water bottles. There's these hydration kits that you can go to any of the running stores and buy, but really, are you going to need it? Because there's folks that run with them in a 5K run. There's folks that train with them for marathons. But again, we'll be right back. And Kent, do you know about the Texas 3-foot law? You're about.
Were you aware? Texas has a law that commercial vehicles, when passing a road user such as a cyclist, runner, or walker, must obey a 6 feet distance between said vehicle and the road user. Texas also has a law that all vehicles, when passing a road user, must obey a 3 feet distance. Can you see me now? 3 feet, 6 feet. It's the law.
At www.spreaker.com, create your own radio show and find thousands of exclusive radio channels.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, $50 gets you your own commercial here on I Speak For You. How's that possible? Here's what you're going to do. Step 1, email us at info@ispeakforyou.net. We'll get in contact with you. We'll meet with you. We'll sit down with you, write out your commercial, exactly what you want to say. Heck, I will even let you make your own commercial. That's right, your voice, your words, your radio spot. What happens then is your radio spot goes on to all I Speak For You programming. You can take that radio commercial. We'll edit it, put your music on there, and then you can put it on your Facebook, your website, your Twitter, your SoundCloud, whatever you want to do with it. It's your commercial for $50. That's right, from now until January 31st, $50 gets you your own radio spot. And then, hey, we can do it again in February. Get ready for the Valentine's Day sales. Get ready for Fiesta. Get ready for rodeo. Whatever you want to do, we can do it all year long. That's right. First person in the door, $50. Set your price throughout the year. Each month, it'll be $50. I Speak For You. Your radio, your music, your topics, your shows. I Speak For You radio and events are here to take care of you. Again, email us at info@ispeakforyou.net. We'll get a hold of you. Let's do your commercial now. Again, till January 31st, $50. I Speak For You. Glimmer Gear. Increase your visibility. Be seen by motorists up to a quarter mile away. LED-equipped, state-of-the-art sports apparel designed to offer you comfort and safety while you exercise, train, and explore the outdoors. Visit Glimmer Gear today. Enter the promo code I Speak For You and get 25% off. That's glimmergear.com or give them a call at 619-299-GEAR. So you heard a commercial about the Texas 3-foot, 6-foot law. And there's a lot of states that are coming on board with that, which is very important because a lot of folks out there riding their bikes, runners, even walkers walking down their neighborhood streets, that comes into play because we've been out training a lot. We've been out riding our bikes, running, and we've seen a lot of folks, not us personally, but get buzzed and everything. And it's one of those things. I mean, like you guys, you're both coaches. You still have a lot of runners in your stables and everything. How do you combat that?
What I do is tell people that if you look at the junkyard, they're full of cars, and they're much larger than we are, and most of them have lights.
Right.
So if they can't see, if you can't see a car as a runner, you have no hope. So you better stay out of the way.
Yeah, I'm always preaching safety to my runners, and more so when the times change, start getting more towards the hours of darkness, and people are running, and when it's dark out. But obviously, all my runners know when they're running, they're facing traffic. I'm very anti iPod